You know what time it is? Let's learn something new. Have you ever heard of a man named Rufus Stokes? No? That's not shocking, but today I'd like to tell you about a great inventor that we've probably never heard of.
Rufus Stokes? I've never heard of him. You say he's an inventor? Well, what did he invent?
I'm glad you asked. Let's briefly look at this great man of our story. On September 3, 1922, in Phoenix City, Rufus Stokes was born. Stokes spent the first 18 years of his life in rural areas of Alabama, where he attended public schools until November 5, 1940, when he joined the United States Army at Fort Benning in the Quartermaster Corps before he graduated high school. In the Army, Stokes attended a technical school that trained him to be an automobile mechanic. That was a trade that would serve him well later in his life. But, before Stokes became famous, he served his country in war. He was deployed to Western Europe, where he was a part of the Rhineland campaign. When he left the army, he left as a decorated soldier. Among those decorations were the American Defense Service Medal, the European African Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, and the Good Conduct Medal.
Wow, I've never heard about this. I wonder why we aren't taught about him in schools. Please, tell me more. What did he invent?
Yes, I didn't know this stuff at the point as well, but let's keep going. In 1945, Stokes became a part-time auto mechanic. In 1947, they moved to Waukegan, where Stokes found work as a pipe and steel worker. Between late 1947 and 1949, Stokes was an orderly in the Veterans Hospital in Chicago. He worked mainly in the tuberculosis sanitarium. It was here he first noticed the negative health effects of the city's pollution. He found work at Brule, Incorporated, an incinerator manufacturing company in Chicago. He quickly learned the business of combustion and was thought to have contributed to the design of new incinerators, but was not given credit for his contributions. Because of this, Stokes left the company to pursue his own interests. In 1968, after many years of struggling to maintain ownership of his own designs while building working systems out of spare and borrowed parts, he was finally granted his first United States patent. His patent was for the exhaust purifier and was said to reduce gas and ash emissions compared to other incinerator designs. 2 years later, on July 14, 1970, an improved design was patented which was called the Air Pollution Control Device. It became better known as the Clean Air Machine, or the APC 100. He joined with partners to create the Air Pollution Control Corporation of America in Chicago. Not long afterwards, Stokes created a smaller version of the device for domestic use and a larger mobile version to show off the machine's versatility. The device further reduced the ash emissions of furnace and power plant smokestack emissions. The ability of the APC 100 to convert particulate matter and toxic gases resulting from the burning of rubber tires and other combustibles to steam was a constant source of intrigue to those who witnessed the operation. The device was not limited by design and configuration, meaning that its efficiency remained excellent regardless of industrial or residential applications. This was not true of typical air pollution control technologies, such as electrostatic precipitators, baghouses, and wet scrubbers. The larger the device that utilized these approaches, the more cumbersome and inefficient it became. The core of Stokes' technology was a unique utilization of what he described as the 3Ts, temperature, time and turbulence. Because of his scientific achievements, in 1982, Stokes was granted a Doctor of Science degree from Heed University of Hollywood, Florida in 1985. Dr. Stokes moved to Claremont, California, where he died in 1986 of mesothelioma, an asbestos-related disease he was probably exposed to at work.
Oh my gosh! I have to go look into this man. I never knew, but that's why I watch these videos. Dr. Stokes' inventions led to a direct improvement to air quality, but more importantly, brought attention to the idea that scientists could work to reduce pollution and harmful gases in the atmosphere. I learned something new for sure.
Well, that's all for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, guys and girls. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more short and simple videos. Hey guys and girls. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. See you next time. Hi, how are you? You know what time it is? Let's learn something new. Have you ever heard of a man named Leonard C. Bailey? No? That's not shocking, but today I'd like to tell you about a great inventor that we've probably never heard of.
Leonard C. Bailey? I've never heard of him. You say he's an inventor? Well, what did he invent?
I'm glad you asked. Let's briefly look at this great man of our story. In 1825, with a physical inability to an impoverished free black family. However, through his business adventures and ambitious dreams, he overcame and defeated his impediments and had a substantial positive impact on the broader black community. Bailey ascended in status by turning into an understudy barber. Through this achievement, he eventually came to own and run a chain of other barbershops in different parts in the District of Columbia during the Civil War period.
Wow, I've never heard about this. I wonder why we aren't taught about him in schools. Please, tell me more. What did he invent?
Yes, I didn't know this stuff at a point as well, but let's keep going. In Bailey's first noteworthy appearance came in 1869 when he was one of the members of the jury for the scandalous Millie Gaines trial. The defendant Gaines, a black woman, had executed her white lover and was acquitted on the grounds of transitory madness. The preliminary hearing was administered by the State House's originally coordinated jury, comprised of 6 black men and 6 white men. Besides his achievements as a businessman and community member, Bailey is additionally celebrated for his creative inventions. In 1883, Bailey patented one of his most significant devices, a truss and bandage intended to support patients with lower body hernias. The structure was later embraced by the U.S. Armed Forces Medical Board, which in turn gave subsidies to Bailey's business adventures and future innovations. Among these were a gadget for moving railroad trains and a speed stamper for mail, the last being utilized most by the U.S. Postal Service. On July 18, 1899, Bailey protected a collapsing bed for simple stockpiling. Again, the U.S. Army respected the advancement and the creation as one of Bailey's claims to fame today. Throughout his career, Bailey carefully maintained his position as a member of the black upper middle class. He became a director of the Manassas Industrial School for Colored Youth in Virginia, was a board member of the Berean Baptist Church in the District of Columbia, and was a famous Freemason.
Oh my gosh! I have to go look into this man. I never knew, but that's why I watch these videos. Mr. Bailey's inventions led to a direct improvement in convenience, necessity for beds whether for our soldiers or a less fortunate person in need of rest, and bandages for our soldiers, for all of us who suffer injuries. Just think about the lives his inventions have saved. But more importantly, I learned something new for sure.
Well, that's all for today everyone. I hope you enjoyed, guys and girls. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more short and simple videos. Hey guys and girls. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. See you next time.